So, my name is Lazarus X, formerly known as Lamont Pierre, and I'm a filmmaker. I'm an artist, and I am doing this video about my experience with somebody that was a big part of my life for a lot of years, and it is about my experience with this person and the aftermath, the reverberations of my experience with this person, which spans about 20 years, 21, 22 years, give or take. And my experience with this person was for 11 years physically, and then there was an after period. So why am I doing this? First of all, I have a brand called The Artist Temple. So this video appears as part of that multimedia brand, which includes a podcast, where the brand The Artist Temple is for artists and creative people. It's a place that I designed and created, a space for healing for artists to get understanding and glean understanding. I truly believe that artists and creative people are very unique people. They're very unique types of people. If you've, been close to a creative person, an artistic person, you know that they're very unique people who are living a very particular and unique life experience. And or you could be one of those creative people. And what I've learned in my journey is that one of the things that I wish I had, and I wish that there were spaces for people like myself to find understanding and context in our journey, no matter what we are talented at artistically, whether it's painting or music or writing, filmmaking, like me. And I feel like there needs to be more spaces that cater to the artist and the artist's mind, spirit, body. So that's where I came up with The Artist Temple. So I'm doing this video as a testimony of something that I experienced with somebody and the way that it reverberated throughout my life, which I think had a big connection to the fact that I'm an artist and a creative person, the way that I dealt with it, what I wasn't prepared for, and again, the lasting long-term effects, even after the person is already not in your life. And unfortunately, the person that I'm going to be talking about, he's probably going to come out looking pretty bad in this, but it's the truth. And I've been, like, as a creative person, I've been finding ways to tell my truth that also gave grace to different people, that were connected to my truth in my life. And he's one of those people that I've done that with. I've wrote film projects about him. I have more film projects coming that were inspired by him and my experience with him. But in addition to me telling my truth in this way on my podcast, as an offering on my podcast, I feel like there's some key things that I've gleaned from my experience that I want to share to other creative people who are, starting to embark on their creative journeys and their creative careers and in their respective fields. Whether you're young or whether you're you're older. But there's some key themes that I just want to introduce, express that could have helped me, but I hope that they can help you, as I tell this story. And to the person that is in my story, you may find me addressing you more than once as I tell this story, but you and I both know that we have this experience that went for 11 years, right? And you know that after those 11 years that I tried to kind of connect with you to try to kind of put peace and understanding on the experience that we went through, which was like a very psychologically and emotionally illuminating experience. And you have chosen not to want to engage in any of that unpacking, which is your choice. But at the same time, I also have choices too on my end and how I've needed to go about my healing journey and my understanding of what happened in my life. And I just happen to be one of those kind of people that it is difficult for me to move forward if I have no understanding of what I just went through. So I've been spending many years unpacking, not just this experience, but all major pivotal experiences in my life. I think that is a healthy thing to do as humans in this human existence. I think that we get caught up in the busyness of our lives and all the distractions of the human existence, and we don't take a lot of time, and a lot of us don't have the level of consciousness to unpack the things that we're going through and that we're experiencing, and kind of making sense of it and asking the what's, the whys, the hows, and usually we end up just repeating patterns and repeating cycles. And this particular experience that I went through with this person was so transcendent to me in so many ways that I did not want to repeat it with somebody else. I wanted to learn my lessons with this experience so that I can have a complete renewed experience in my future. So anything that anybody can take from my story is a beautiful thing. And again, to the person that is in my story, I think it's time that you dealt with what's really going on with you, the things that you've been running from your whole life probably, and the accountability of how you not dealing with your stuff, and how you chose to, in most ways, intentionally spilled out and traumatized so many people. And I'm one of those people. So, I'm sorry, but this is a part of my journey. And like I said, I gave you almost a decade to take a time out, regroup, grow, and hoping at some point you would be open to like unpacking, the rest of our experience, and then us moving on, with our lives as healed people who've learned, from what they've gone through. And that opportunity is still there, I suppose. But this has been a defining experience in my life, and so I'm going to continue to discuss it as I need to. and use it for inspiration, on my creative journey and all the things that it has revealed to me about life, and about relating to other people in this life. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm using the word sociopath. Um, so here's the thing. Um, when I was in the middle of this experience, kind of like in the later years of it, um, before I walked away from it, uh, I was just in a state of just trying to. At that point, I was trying to clinically find out what the hell was going on in this experience with this person. His name is Jared. Okay, so I went researching, and my research led me to two terms: sociopath and psychopath. And so once I read up on both, I was able to narrow him down to you know having most of the sociopathic traits, right? And so these are all traits that you can look up. The viewers, you guys can look up on your own. You can see what I'm talking about. I think that sociopathy is one of those things that's not talked about enough. I know that the word narcissist is on trend, and everybody seems to know what that word is. But that's even a complicated concept. But and that is a part of this profile as well. But sociopathy was what I realized is what I was dealing with. And so I wanted to break down common traits of sociopathy. So I'm actually going to read them off. So, so the definition of sociopathy is clinically known as antisocial personality disorder. It describes a pattern of behavior marked by manipulation, lack of empathy, deceit, and disregard for others' emotional or moral boundaries. So, common traits of sociopathy are charm without conscience, all right, extremely charismatic, knows how to marry your energy and interest to win trust, chronic lying, lies effortlessly, even when unnecessary, lies become a part of identity, emotional manipulation, exploits others' empathy and uses guilt or affection to control outcomes. No genuine remorse is another trait. Can acknowledge wrongdoing verbally but feels no actual empathy or guilt. Shallow emotions, mimics feelings but doesn't experience them deeply. Reactions are performative. Gaslighting, rewrites history, denies obvious facts, makes you doubt your memory or sanity. Image management, obsessed with how they are perceived, constructs a false self that looks admirable. Exploitation of trust, uses people's talents, time, or love for personal advancement. Lack of accountability, never takes true responsibility, always blames others or circumstances. Intermittent reinforcement, alternates affection and withdrawal to keep control, keeps others off balance. Parasitic lifestyle, feeds off others' resources, reputation, or emotional labor without reciprocity. Reactive rage or cold detachment, either erupts in disproportionate anger or becomes eerily emotionless when confronted. No long-term loyalty is another trait. Relationships exist only as long as they serve the sociopath's current needs. Mimicry of morality, speaks the language of integrity, empathy, or spirituality without ever living it. And then predatory opportunism, spots vulnerability as an entry point, professionally, emotionally, and romantically. Now, this particular list of sociopathic traits, this person that I'm talking about, Jared Lee, Norwood Woodford, he fits all of them. They all fall within my experience of him over the past 20 years. So I'm going to talk about my story, and I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm sharing my story, and I hope that anybody, young, middle age, or older, can just take something from this story. And yeah, again, to the person that this is about, I hope you get some help. I hope you get some help because you are playing with fire, the way you've been moving and navigating through the world. And to be honest with you, you're lucky that I've always been able to pull myself back from when I really wanted to make you feel the effects of your behavior, and that I chose to rechannel every time. I chose to rechannel and pour into myself, my healing, my understanding of self, and my purpose in the world, which is to, you know, illuminate the world with my art, and with things that I know and that I want to offer the world. So I chose to channel my rage, my anger, my resentment, my frustrations, my trauma, positively as opposed to negatively. And but not everybody has the level of consciousness to do that, you know. So anyway, here we go. So 2005,